The champagne flute shattered against the marble floor of the hotel lobby, shards scattering like broken promises under the chandelier's indifferent glow. Jerry's hand trembled as he stared at the embossed invitation clutched in his other fist, the one with Tyler's name scripted in elegant gold, announcing his wedding to some woman Jerry had never met. "You have to come," the email had pleaded, from Tyler's best man, a mutual friend who knew too much. "He's counting on you to capture it all." Jerry's heart hammered like a bass drum in a dive bar on Sunset Boulevard, the kind where regrets drowned in cheap whiskey. He crumpled the invite, but the words burned into his retinas. "Your lens are forever." Bullshit. Tyler had walked out 2 years ago, leaving Jerry in the wreckage of their Echo Park apartment, the one they'd painted sky blue together on a whim one rainy afternoon. Now this hired to immortalize the day Tyler sealed the deal with someone else. It was masochism wrapped in a paycheck. But damn if Jerry didn't need the gig. Freelance wedding photography in LA was feast or famine, and famine had been gnawing at his bank account for months. He'd said yes before his brain could veto it, fingers flying over the keyboard in a haze of nostalgia and spite. "I'll do it," he'd typed back. "For old time's sake." What a lie. Old times were a ghost haunting his darkroom, developing prints of stolen kisses in Griffith Park, hikes up Runyon Canyon where Tyler's laugh echoed off the canyons like it could outrun the world. They were 25 then, invincible in that reckless, sun-soaked way only Angelinos could pull off, tattoos fresh, dreams bigger than the Hollywood sign. Jerry tossed his camera bag into the trunk of his beat-up Subaru, the one with the dent from that night Tyler had driven them to Palm Springs for a weekend escape. Windows down, blasting the killers like they owned the desert. The drive to Malibu would take 2 hours. Traffic be damned. He glanced at his reflection in the rearview, bags under his eyes from too many late nights editing other people's happily ever afters, his sandy blonde hair overdue for a cut, jaw set in that stubborn line his mom always said made him look like his Irish grandfather. As the 101 North blurred past, palm trees whipping by like judgmental fingers, Jerry's mind replayed the breakup on loop. It wasn't fireworks or screaming matches. Tyler had just faded. Late nights at the ad agency turned into all-nighters, excuses piling up like unpaid bills. Then the confession over lukewarm takeout from In-N-Out. "I think I need to figure out who I am without us. Without us." As if Jerry were an accessory, not the guy who'd held Tyler through his dad's funeral, the one who'd inked always on his ribcage in a Koreatown parlor at 2 a.m. The venue was a sprawling cliffside estate, the kind rich tech bros rented to pretend they were in a Nancy Meyers flick. Waves crashed below, a salty underscore to the string quartet tuning up on the lawn. Guests milled about in linen suits and sundresses, sipping rose from flutes that probably cost more than Jerry's monthly rent. He spotted the best man first, Mark, Tyler's college roommate, clapping him on the back with that bro hug vigor. "Jay, you made it. Man, you look good. Like, really good." Mark's eyes flicked over him, praising, but Jerry waved it off. "Wouldn't miss it. Where's the happy couple? Getting ready. Tyler's been a nervous wreck. Keeps asking if you'd RSVP'd. Mark paused, rubbing his neck. "Look, I know this is weird as hell. But he insisted. Said you're the best. And I dunno, closure or something. Closure." The word tasted like ash. Jerry forced a grin, adjusting his camera strap. "Yeah, well, I'm here to make 'em look like movie stars." Lead the way. The bridal suite was a vision in whites and ivories. Flowers everywhere. Peonies and eucalyptus spilling from vases like they'd been airlifted from a Pinterest board. The bride, Elena, was a knockout. Olive skin, dark curls pinned with pearls, laughing as her bridesmaids fussed over her veil. She turned when Jerry entered, her smile bright but curious. "You must be the photographer. Tyler raved about you, said your shots have this magic. Like you see souls or whatever." She extended a hand, manicured nails glinting. "I'm Elena. Thrilled to have you." Jerry shook it, mumbling pleasantries, his throat tight. Close. She was everything Tyler had always chased. Poised, ambitious, the kind of woman who could grace a Forbes 30 under 30 list. A lawyer, Mark had said, specializing in entertainment law. Jerry wondered if she'd ever hiked Runyon at dawn, feet blistered and hearts full. "Let's start with some portraits," he suggested, lifting his Canon to his eye. Click. Click. Her laugh lit the room, genuine and warm. For a split second, he envied Tyler, not for her, but for the ease of it all. Down the hall, the groom's suite hummed with testosterone and cologne. Tyler stood before a full-length mirror, tugging at his bow tie, his broad shoulders straining the crisp white shirt. At 27, he looked sharper than Jerry remembered, hair styled in that effortless wave, jawline chiseled from gym sessions Jerry used to tease him about. But his eyes, those hazel eyes that could melt steel, darted nervously when the door opened. Tyler breathed, turning. The room shrank, the air thickening like LA smog. 2 years, and it hit like a freight train. The scent of his cedarwood aftershave, the way his smile faltered into something raw. "Hey, Groomzilla." Jerry aimed for levity, but his voice cracked. He raised the camera like a shield. "Smile for the memories." Tyler crossed the room in 2 strides, pulling him into a hug that lingered too long, chest to chest, the heat of him seeping through fabric. "You came. God, I didn't think you would. Paycheck's a paycheck." Jerry pulled back, busying himself with the lens cap. But Tyler's hand lingered on his arm, thumb brushing the spot where his sleeve rode up, exposing the faded tattoo. "Missed you," Tyler murmured, so low the groomsmen pretended not to hear. One coughed, another cracked a beer from the minibar. Jerry's shutter clicked, capturing Tyler mid-laugh as his brother ribbed him about cold feet. But in the viewfinder, it was just them. Tyler's gaze locking on his, a silent conversation of what-ifs and whys. By the time the ceremony rolled around, Jerry's hands shook as he positioned himself at the aisle's end, the Pacific glittering like shattered glass behind the arch of orchids. The guests hushed as Elena glided down, arm in arm with her father, a silver-haired exec in a Panama hat. Tyler waited at the altar, eyes fixed on her, but Jerry caught the flicker, the way his gaze strayed, searching the crowd until it landed on him. Click. The exchange of vows was poetry, promises of forever, rings sliding on with whispers of love. Jerry documented it all, his chest a vice, framing shots that would hang in frames above their marital bed. As the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, Tyler dipped Elena for the kiss, and the crowd erupted, claps and cheers crashing like the waves below. But Jerry lingered in the shadows of the receiving line, lens down for once, watching Tyler greet aunties and uncles with that megawatt smile. When their eyes met across the lawn, Tyler mouthed, Thank you. The cocktail hour blurred into golden hour magic. Laughter echoing off the cliffs. Fire pits crackling to life as the sun dipped toward the horizon. Jerry worked the crowd methodically. Candid toasts. Kids chasing bubbles. Elena twirling in her gown like a summer storm. But Tyler hovered at the edges, stealing glances, until he cornered Jerry by the bar, 2 whiskeys in hand. Truce, Tyler offered a glass. His tie loosened, top button undone. Close. The lines around his eyes spoke of sleepless nights, the kind Jerry knew too well. Jerry accepted, clinking rims. The burn down his throat steadied him. To your happiness. You look it. Tyler leaned against the railing, staring out at the surf. Do I? Elena's amazing. She's steady. Knows what she wants. He paused, swirling the amber liquid. But you, seeing you here, is like, fuck, Jeff. I messed up. Big time. The admission hung between them, heavier than the salt air. Jerry's pulse thrummed. 2 years late. Ty. You chose this. Chose her. I chose safe. Tyler's voice cracked, eyes glistening. After Dad died, everything felt like quicksand. You were my anchor, but I was drowning anyway. Thought marriage would fix it. Make me normal, you know? Like I could outrun who I am. Jerry's laugh was bitter, wind-whipped. Normal? You think a white dress erases us? The nights in that shitty apartment, your head on my chest, whispering about adopting a dog someday. That was real. Tyler. This, he gestured to the fairy lights twinkling like false stars. This is your escape hatch. Tyler reached for him then, fingers grazing Jerry's wrist. But a bridesmaid's call yanked him away. Photo op with the fam, leaving Jerry adrift, whiskey sour on his tongue. Dinner was served under a vast tent, fairy lights draping like constellations. Speeches flowed. Mark's roast had the tables howling. Elena's maid of honor gushing about soulmates found in law school coffee runs. Jerry captured it from the perimeter, his lens an emotional buffer, until Tyler's turn at the mic. The groom stood, glass raised, his presence commanding the room like he owned the spotlight. Family, friends, thank you for being here on the day Elena and I start our forever. Cheers rippled. Tyler's eyes scanned the crowd, landing on Jerry tucked in the back, camera at rest. But tonight, I need to say something else. Something that's been eating at me for years. The tent hushed, forks pausing midair. Elena's hand tightened on his arm, her smile faltering into confusion. Jerry's stomach dropped. He knew that tone. The precipice of truth Tyler had always teetered on. Tyler swallowed hard, microphone trembling. 2 years ago, I broke the heart of the best man I ever knew. Not in this room, not a groomsman, but the guy who taught me love isn't a checklist. It's messy, it's terrifying, and it's the only thing worth fighting for. His gaze locked on Jerry, unwavering. If you're listening, and I know you are, I'm sorry. For running. For pretending. You deserved better than my cowardice. Gasps rippled through the guests, whispers like dry leaves. Elena's face drained of color, her bouquet wilting in her lap. Jerry froze, the world narrowing to Tyler's voice, raw and unfiltered over the speakers. I thought this, Tyler gestured to the arch, the cake, the rings, would make me whole. But standing here, with you in the shadows capturing my perfect day, I see it clear. I can't marry her without being honest. With her. With myself. With you. The mic dropped with a thud that echoed like a gunshot. Tyler stepped off the platform, weaving through stunned tables toward Jerry, ignoring the chaos erupting behind him. Elena rising, tears streaming, her father barking questions. Jerry's back hit the tent pole, camera slipping from his shoulder. "What the hell are you doing?" Jerry hissed, voice a whisper shout, heart slamming against his ribs. Tyler cupped his face, thumbs brushing away a tear Jerry hadn't realized was falling. "Claiming the spotlight I owed you. I love you, Jeff. Always have. This wedding, it's been a dress rehearsal for the life I want, with you." The tent flap billowed in the breeze, guests spilling out like actors fleeing a bad scene. Elena stood at the altar's remnants, flanked by her bridesmaids, her eyes a storm of betrayal and fury. "Tyler? What is this?" Tyler turned, not releasing Jerry. "Elena, I'm so sorry. You're incredible, and I meant every vow until I realized I was lying to us both. I can't do this. Not when my heart's been yours all along." He nodded to Jerry, the words a lifeline tossed into choppy waters. She laughed, sharp and shattered, veil ripping from her hair. "All along? You proposed 6 months ago. Tyler said I was your future." Her voice broke, the crowd murmuring like a Greek chorus. Mark hovered nearby, torn between intervening and fleeing. "I know. And I'll spend every day making it right, for hurting you like this." Tyler's shoulders slumped, the groom's poise cracking. "But I can't build on sand. Not when the truth is standing right here." Jerry's mind reeled, the Pacific's roar mocking the pandemonium. Part of him wanted to bolt, grab his gear and vanish into the night like a bad rom-com exit. But Tyler's eyes, those damn hazel depths, held him captive. "Ty, this is insane. You'll regret." "No." Tyler's grip tightened, desperate. "The only regret is losing you. Come with me. Let's start over. No spotlights, no scripts, just us." Elena stormed forward, heels sinking into the grass, her father's arm around her shoulders now. "You two planned this? God. Tyler, was I just the beard? The cover story?" "Never," Tyler pleaded, stepping back but keeping Jerry in his orbit. "You were real. This us was real too. But I was lying to myself from the start. I thought I could flip the switch, go straight for the white picket fence. But love doesn't work that way." The guests fractured, some heading for the valet in awkward clusters, others lingering with phones out, capturing the meltdown like it was TMZ gold. Aunts clutched pearls. Uncles shifted uncomfortably, beers forgotten. Jerry caught snippets. "Is that the ex? Holy shit. Plot twist." Jerry's voice was a rasp. "You can't just hijack your own wedding, Ty. Think about her, about everyone." "I am." Tyler's breath hitched. For the first time in years. Elena deserves someone all in. Not half-assed. Chasing ghosts. She halted feet away, mascara tracks carving rivers down her cheeks. For a beat, the three of them stood in a triangle of wreckage, waves the only sound, relentless and indifferent. Then Elena straightened, chin lifting like the lawyer she was. "Fine. Call it off. But you'll never work in this town again, not with my connections." Her glare slid to Jerry, venomous. "And you, enjoy your sloppy seconds." She spun, bridesmaids trailing like a funeral procession, the tent emptying into the twilight. Tyler sagged against Jerry, the weight of it all crashing down. "I ruined everything." Jerry steadied him, arms wrapping instinctively around the man who'd shattered him once before. "Yeah. You did. But maybe you fixed something too." They sank onto the dew-kissed grass, the cliff's edge a whisper away, stars pricking the velvet sky. Tyler's head found Jerry's shoulder, sobs muffled against his shirt, ugly, cathartic cries that shook them both. Jerry stroked his hair, the cedar scent grounding him amid the fallout. Hours blurred. Venue staff discreetly packing up, Mark texting apologies and offers of bail money, just in case. Elena's car peeled out long ago, taillights fading into the highway's maw. By midnight, it was just them, Jerry's Subaru idling like a getaway car. "Drive?" Tyler asked, voice hoarse, eyes red-rimmed but clear. Jerry nodded, handing over the keys. The road unspooled south, toward San Diego maybe, or nowhere at all, just the hum of tires on asphalt, radio low with some old Springsteen crooning about Thunder Roads. Tyler's hand found Jerry's thigh, tentative, then sure, a bridge rebuilt one touch at a time. "You think we can salvage this?" Tyler murmured, city lights smearing past like shooting stars. Jerry squeezed his fingers. "Not salvage. Start fresh. No more hiding. Ty. We're out, loud, and unapologetic. Deal?" "Deal." Tyler leaned over, kissing his knuckles, the gesture small but seismic. Dawn broke over the desert as they pulled into a roadside diner, neon sign flickering open 24/7 like a promise. Over greasy eggs and black coffee, they talked, not vows or regrets, but futures. Jerry's dream of a gallery show in Silver Lake, Tyler quitting the agency for something real, maybe graphic design for queer nonprofits. Laughter crept in, tentative at first, then full-throated, the kind that stitched wounds. Back in LA. A week later, the scandal had simmered to tabloid fodder. Tech air dumps bride at altar for X-Flame, but Jerry deleted the alerts, focusing on the print developing in his darkroom. Tyler mid-confession, face alight with truth. Jerry blurred in the foreground like a ghost stepping into light. They moved slow, therapy sessions in WeHo, hikes reclaiming Runyon's trails, nights tangled in fresh sheets without the weight of what-ifs. Tyler got a tattoo to match Jerry's. Always, inked bold on his forearm, public declaration. One evening, 6 months on, they stood on that same Malibu cliff, not for a wedding, but a bonfire. Flames danced, casting shadows on Tyler's face as he pulled a ring from his pocket. Not diamond, but a simple band of rose gold. Engraved inside, "Spotlight's ours." "Marry me," Tyler knelt, not in a tent of lies, but under open sky. Not to fix anything, just to build. Jerry hauled him up, kissing him fierce and salty. "Hell yes. But no photographers, I want to live it, not frame it." The fire crackled approval, waves applauding below. In the end, love wasn't a spotlight stolen or a vow broken. It was the quiet burn of two souls, scarred but steady, choosing each other under America's endless stars. And for Jerry and Tyler, that was more than enough. Raw, real, and radiantly theirs. Jerry's heart hammered like a bass drum in a dive bar on Sunset Boulevard, the kind where regrets drowned in cheap whiskey. He crumpled the invite, but the words burned into his retinas. "Your lens, are forever. Bullshit. Tyler had walked out 2 years ago, leaving Jerry in the wreckage of their Echo Park apartment, the one they'd painted sky blue together on a whim one rainy afternoon. Now this hired to immortalize the day Tyler sealed the deal with someone else. It was masochism wrapped in a paycheck. But damn if Jerry didn't need the gig. Freelance wedding photography in LA was feast or famine, and famine had been gnawing at his bank account for months. He'd said yes before his brain could veto it, fingers flying over the keyboard in a haze of nostalgia and spite. "I'll do it," he'd typed back. For old times' sake. What a lie. Old times were a ghost haunting his darkroom, developing prints of stolen kisses in Griffith Park, hikes up Runyon Canyon where Tyler's laugh echoed off the canyons like it could outrun the world. They were 25 then, invincible in that reckless, sun-soaked way only Angelinos could pull off, tattoos fresh, dreams bigger than the Hollywood sign.